What's going on, everybody?
Thank you so much.
Whoa, I have my video playing in the background on my computer. That's crazy. This is like my third attempt of going live, and if it's got to be the fourth, then I'm not going live today. It has been pretty interesting. I've been trying, and for some reason, either the live system or something like that's not quite going, or I don't know. I don't understand why it wasn't going earlier on my computer. But nonetheless, here we are. And what I'm doing right now as an alternative, I had to use my phone. I have my computer here. I typically stream for the computer. That way I can use the phone to demo things. But since today we're going to be talking about the G6, because they sent me this one to check it out, I decided, hey, what the heck? Let's just go ahead and then do just the stream over the phone. But yeah, we're going to be opening this little guy. Wow, I already have it just like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Good morning. But yeah, in the meantime, I'm going to be opening the Feiyutech G6 gimbal for GoPro. I'm not too much of a GoPro guy. I still have a Hero 3. But if you do have any questions about how to use the GoPro with this, or if you have any questions about the Osmo Mobile, the Smove Mobile, the Smove 4, now's the chance. We're going to be talking for about half an hour here and there, opening this little guy up. And if you have any questions, let me know. But thank you so much for taking the time to hang out with me today. It is Wednesday, and some of us got to work after the stream, but we'll do the best we can. But yeah, they reach out to me and they say, hey, we're going to send you this G6. Yes, fam. What's up, fam? Welcome to the stream. Yeah, this one's just for GoPro and GoPro Session. They sent me a couple extra things here. They sent me an adapter for the Session, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. And they send me this little thing over here. Actually, let's open it up. See what's up. There's a tripod. Yeah. So they send me wow, that's a relatively longer tripod. So this tripod's like, it's like big. It's like super big. But I guess it's because for sturdiness, or maybe you can use that, extra distance as a selfie stick. Maybe, we'll see. But yeah, this Feiyutech is just for GoPro. The reason why I decided to talk about this one today is because a lot of you have been asking about, hey, can I use the GoPro with the Smove Mobile? Yes. Can I use the GoPro with the DJI Osmo Mobile? Yes, with an adapter or with like a heavier mount that counterweights. So yeah, I figured, hey, there's actually some people that like the GoPro stuff, so I might as well talk about it. Chuck says, is it similar to the Smove Mobile? No. This one is specifically, the mechanism is kind of the same. It's got a 3-axis gimbal stabilization, but it's specifically for GoPro. Now, the only reason why I personally don't use these on my day-to-day is because the Smove Mobile or the Osmo or the Smove Q, they would actually work for both smartphones and GoPro. So that's kind of like one of the main reasons that I like those, because I can fluctuate between them. But if you're the type of person that you are GoPro 100% or you're like heavy on GoPro, then definitely something like this, I feel it's going to get the job done. So, all right, let's go ahead and start opening this up and see how it looks like. I am going to be sharing 5 reasons why I like this. I always like to grab the best out of a product and highlight it, because there's definitely a lot of people that love GoPro. Actually, let me put this down here. I actually like the packaging to begin with. It's a really nice, kind of like a hard shell case, similar to what the Smove Q had. I don't know if you guys remember that, but the Smove Q was plastic, but it was like a hard, protective feeling plastic. It's got a nice little handle over here. I dig that. I dig the construction. It's pretty cool. The smell of new. It's got some really nice foam padding in the top to protect it. Feiyutech manuals. All right. And from the get-go, this is how it looks when it's in the box. So this, I suppose, is the battery, removable, which is interesting, right? It's rechargeable, but it's removable. So if you have many of these, you can extend your recording. That's always a plus. I like how this case keeps the gimbal steady. That's kind of like the one thing that I dislike about having to get a case for my gimbals, is that they're kind of like dancing around unless you get straps or foams or things like that. But this is it, guys. This is pretty interesting. All right, so it's got the little mount for the GoPro. And it's weird because the stabilization is kind of angled. I don't know if you can see the motors. They're kind of like a little bit tilted back. It actually reminds me a little bit of the Smoves. The Smove Mobile has a slight angle to the back, right? So this is the Smove Mobile for smartphones and GoPro. This is the Feiyutech G6 only for the GoPro. Now I do see that it can spin 360 actually. That's cool. Yeah, so you could potentially do those 360s. And oh, cool. Yeah, pretty straightforward, pretty self-explanatory. Let me take this plastic off and we'll mount the GoPro. Now in the meantime, guys, if you guys have any questions about the DJI Osmo Mobile, the Smove Mobile, all that fun stuff, feel free to drop them. Yes, this is very similar to the Karma, apparently, as I was reading last night on the internet. A lot of people are resourcing to stuff like this rather than the Karma. But yeah, I haven't had the opportunity to play a lot with a Karma. Now here's like my first conundrum, is that there's no labeling saying which side is the positive or negative. I'm just gonna shoot from the hip and say that the negative goes first. I'm gonna lock it in. And if this doesn't work out, then we'll try the other way. All right. The price point of this is a little bit higher than traditional smartphone gimbals. This one's going to be $229 if I'm not mistaken. Links in the description of the video if you guys want to check that out. Personally, I haven't tried it yet. I'm just giving you like super early first impressions, but I will start testing it out throughout the weekend. I'm starting to actually see things that I'm digging a lot, right? So I'm looking at the buttons over here. It's got a little joystick. It looks like it's got a mode button similar to traditional gimbals, and then of course your record button. You have an OLED display actually over here, according to them. This is an OLED display. We have the USB port on the side. Now the USB port's kind of buried there. It's kind of like you have to really get in there to get it. The little protection system here, it's very, very like, it gets in there. And one of the reasons why it's a little bit more money than traditional gimbals is because this is water resistant. Splash proof if you are in the rain or if you're in a theme park and you get splashed on. Let's say you're in a Jurassic Park ride, and ooh, that would be a really good test. Jurassic Park ride in Universal Studios. And you get all that splash and you have a GoPro 5 or newer that's waterproof without the housing. There you have it. You're part of the action. In the back, I do see a button over here. This is, oh, it's very clicky. And I feel that might be some sort of like trigger locking mechanism. But then we also have like a little slider here. It's like a, similar to the zoom slider on the Smove Mobile or the DJI Osmo Mobile. And then we have a tripod mount on the side over here. So I guess you can mount it on its tripod from the bottom, just like I'm doing right now. Yeah, definitely. This is meant for you to be able to selfie stick it and be part of the action. So that's kind of cool. And then you could potentially use that on its side as well. Maybe different angles, depending on what you're trying to film. If you're trying to film like a time lapse or something and you might want to keep it on that horizontal, this kind of looks interesting. We gotta test it out and see. Maybe you're the type of person that gets tired. I don't know. I get tired a lot with my gimbals. But looking at the questions over here, the price point was $229. What will be smoother fit for both smartphones and GoPro? Smove Mobile or Osmo Mobile 2? I'm going to be honest with you, for if your ideal combo is going to be phone and smart GoPro at the same time, I mean, the Smove Mobile, I have it right here. I actually filmed this past weekend a video about the new update that they did. They have a tripod now in the box, and then it comes with a really nice pouch, like a sleeve, like a soft case for you to be able to transport it. But I like this because your phone fits there. So if you want to do a live, or if you want to do something quick here and there, you can get some cinematic shots with your phone, because let's face it, phones are where it's at right now. If you're trying to film memories, families, or just simply trying to be a filmmaker, it's in your pocket. But if you feel like also doing some GoPro stuff, you can actually rotate the top clamp and fit the GoPro right in here. I'll show you how to do that. So right now I'm using the Hero 3 because it's the only GoPro I have. It's the only GoPro that I've needed. I haven't been in a situation where I really need a GoPro, but current landscape is pushing me towards a new GoPro. So yeah, guys, if you want to fit your GoPro in your Smove Mobile, this also works with the Smooth Q by GE. All you really have to do, let me actually use the tripod like it was intended. All you really have to do is rotate the top portion over here, right? So that's where your phone goes in horizontal position. Just flip it to portrait, and then you can make your GoPro land right there on the top. Very important. Very, very important. A lot of people are missing this part, and it's okay. Remember that your gimbal can adjust. This arm can adjust. And then also this piece over here, right? This clamp can go one way or the other. So you just make sure you do the best you can so it counterweights as much as possible. And once you turn on this guy, hold down the mode button for like 3 seconds, and here we go. So that's how I like to use the GoPro. Now, some of you have been asking, hey, I want the GoPro to look the other way, right? Because right now it's kind of like selfie mode, looking at me. Think of it as a camera grip. Just twist it around, and then there you go. It's already in pan follow mode, but if you need to lock it in place, use your thumb to hit the trigger. That's kind of like the way around it, and it's actually not that hard. A lot of people are too concerned about the GoPro being, oh, I can't see the GoPro, or if you have one of the GoPros that have the LCD in the back, it's like, oh, I can't see the GoPro, but in reality, with the GoPro, it's really hard to miss a shot because it's so wide, so you just go, be in the moment. Don't forget about looking at the GoPro. If you really need it, you can use your phone to kind of like frame it or change the settings. But that's pretty much it. That's how you use the GoPro and the Smove. If you feel a little bit more comfortable, I've seen a lot of people like put a rubber band or something like that, but I haven't had the need if you're just walking or running or doing basic things. But other than that, this is it. It's pretty straightforward. Let's see what questions we got over here. Thank you guys so much for coming out. I appreciate you hanging out with me for this short while in the morning. So Chuck, what would you be smoother favor? We answer that, Chuck. Hope that helped. If you have more questions, drop them there. Bomb. Which gimbal is the best in your opinion? I'm gonna be honest with you right now. If I could merge the Smove Mobile and the software of the Osmo Mobile, that would be it. Having said that, I've been using them for a while. I have the DJI Osmo Mobile here, and I have the Smove Mobile. My specific style of filming doesn't require too many bells and whistles. I'm a run and gun type of guy, so I use the regular camera app most of the times. So I don't really have a whole lot of software needs. I do appreciate the extension capability that the Smove has. I feel it adds another dimension, another layer of dynamic shots. For example, you can do some crane shots, you can do some sliding shots, like a little bit lower, a little bit higher. So I really like the Smove Mobile very much for my day-to-day. Having said that, if I know that I'm going to be doing a specific job and I require a specific feature, like active tracking or motion time-lapse or I don't know, some of the light trail modes or things like that that are not available in the software from Smove, then I'll just switch back and forth between the Osmo and the Smove Mobile. But those are my favorite two gimbals right now. If I had either or, I'll be able to do my work. But definitely the Smove Mobile is the one that I always reach because it just adds more to what I use the most, for what works the most for me. If you're just starting on gimbal land, the Osmo and the Smove Mobile are both very similar as far as stabilization, but I gotta give DJI credit where it's due. Their software is very polished, very, very, very polished. Other than that, the Smove Mobile will be my weapon of choice most of the times. Let's see. Is it worth upgrade from the Smooth Q to the Smooth 4? I'm going to be honest with you, Bomb. I was thinking about this the other day. It all comes down to what you're filming. If you're filming day-to-day stuff, if you're not doing a whole lot of cinematography or things that might require the extra, capability of interacting with the autofocus and the zoom, because you can already do all those things with the Smooth Q. It's just a different way of interacting with it. I would just stay with the Smooth Q. The app is very similar. The Smooth Q is a great price point. 360 panning. The Smooth 4, it's only 340 if I'm not mistaken. And it's a big gimbal. I have the Smooth 4 right here. It's a massive, massive gimbal, and it's great, but I just feel the Smooth Q capitalized on the price point, and I don't know, at that moment in time, it was just right, and it fits with GoPro as well. This one doesn't quite would do GoPro from starters. You would have to run blind, and even then, the lack of a joystick might throw off that experience a little bit. I don't know. But if you have a Smooth Q, is it worth upgrading to the Smooth 4? I wouldn't say so. It's a great gimbal. But unless you're looking at a project that it's like, oh yeah, I need that fine tune adjustment setting that you can achieve with the little wheel on the side, I wouldn't stress that. If you're doing day-to-day family stuff, we're going to Disney, we're chilling, hanging out, Smooth Q is where it's at. If using for real estate 360-degree tours, what would you recommend? 360-degree tours, are you gonna post like a 360 camera on it, or are you using a GoPro Fusion? What is your goal? Because if you're using a GoPro Fusion or an Insta360 or a Samsung Gear, any 360 camera, realistically, you wouldn't really need too much. Most of these cameras like the Fusion, GoPro Fusion, or the Insta360 one, they actually have stabilization built in. So even if you're walking in a room, they're gonna be really good. But if you're doing if you're doing the motion and you're just taking them on a tour like that, using your smartphone, then both the Osmo or the Smove are gonna get the job done. Absolutely. The Osmo might be a little bit more accessible in stores nearby. The Smove is an online purchase, but it comes with a tripod and a sleeve if it's the GoPro without any adapters, right? So it all comes down to what you're interested on. But for real estate, Osmo or Smove, fantastic. I have a bunch of friends that are doing real estate, and they actually use some of these gimbals either or to capture their stuff, to capture the things that's more important for them. It's huge. Video is huge for real estate. So a 180-degree fisheye. So both of them are gonna work, but you might actually, depending on the type of, on the heftiness of the lens, you might need a counterweight. Actually, that was a great detail that you mentioned, Joy. If you put a lens on the gimbal, it might be a little bit heavier than usual. So these gimbals might quite, struggle a little bit with it. Moment lenses actually makes a gimbal counterweight that you can get on their website that compensates a little bit for this, but totally, either the Osmo or the Smove will be compatible with something like that. So totally check that out. Alfredo, what's up, Alfredo? Welcome. What's the easiest or fastest way to get the footage clips out of the DJI Go app? I'm gonna be honest with you. I typically I use the DJI Go app as a buffer. So I shoot, and save to my phone what I want. It's kind of like a temporary, limbo state. A really good method for sorting, if you ask me. But also from the DJI Go app, you could share to other apps. So more often than none, I see myself either airdropping footage from my phone to my computer or saving it to like Dropbox or something like that, and then bring it over. So I would, instead of like thinking, oh, I have to now transfer everything, use the DJI Go app or the Smove 4, the ZY Play app as a buffer. You take your photos, you take your videos, and then out of everything you overview, you just say, oh, okay, out of everything, this I can use, this I can use, this I can use, and then you either airdrop it to your computer or save it to Dropbox or any other app with the extensions on the share menu if you're on iOS. If you're on Android, I think you can do the same exact thing. It behaves very similar. But yeah, that's the way I like to use the DJI Go app. So using it as a buffer, not quite as a boom, dump everything back into the regular camera app. I just select. I use that as a sorting mechanism. What's going on, Chris? Sorry, not Chris. Crit. KHRMKRIT. Chris. What's going on? So yeah, guys. Drop me your questions. Right now I have the Smove Mobile, so many S's. I have the DJI Osmo Mobile with me as well. And then I have the Smove 4. We're more than welcome to hang out. I have my dumb phone too there as a dummy so we can answer some of your questions. But the main idea of this video was also to share that there are also options for GoPro shooters as well. One of my favorite ones, like I was mentioning, was the Smove Mobile because it fits GoPro as well as smartphones. But in the market, there's a bunch of like GoPro only gimbals that are water resistant, like this one. This is pretty intense. I'm already envisioning if you're the type of person that you're active, you like the outdoors, water sports and things like that. This is water splash resistant. So if somebody splashes or it's raining, you'll be able to capture stuff like that. So we're going to start testing this out, but let me know in the comments what are some of your questions with the GoPro gimbals or with any gimbal. We got a couple minutes that we can answer your questions, get the day right. Since we're right in the middle of the week, I'm going to give you some ideas so you can go on the weekend and film and use these gadgets. Use them good. All right. So which one? G6 versus Osmo 2 Mobile regarding real estate? Osmo Mobile 2, hands down. If you are only GoPro, then of course the G6 is going to be where it's at. But if you are going to be doing smartphone, then the Osmo is definitely the winner here because you'll be able to have multiple different options, not only from smartphones, but GoPro and back and forth. The G6 is only for GoPro. Some people like to have two gimbals. I have right now multiple gimbals, and having the options kind of cool. I guess one tool for the job. If you can't afford having multiple gimbals, then having a G6 or a gimbal that supports GoPro would actually make up from some really cool stuff, right? Traveling season and vacation season literally just started. It's about to start. And, if we were to think, I have a family and kids and we're going to Disneyland and we're going to go to Splash Mountain, I want to be able to record stuff like that or be in the splash zone. But I don't want my phone or my GoPro to get wet or my gadgets or electronics. Something like this is water resistant, splash resistant. In that regard, it might actually get the job done. So once again, it all comes down in that context. Having a gimbal that does smartphone and GoPro, it's very, very useful because that way you don't have to flip-flop around. But if you can't afford having two gimbals, you'll definitely have the ability to tackle the things that you need to tackle without having to compromise too much on not capturing anything at all. So, all right, let's see what we got here. We got some questions. Is G6 only for GoPro? Yes, it is. And would you do gimbal tutorial series like? Bomb, I am interested in doing in the very near future, doing a tutorial. I think it was either you or somebody else that gave me an idea on how to like go from start to finish. Like, how do you record your B-roll footage and what's the mentality behind some of the photography and videography terms, like an actual class to go from recording, the mindset of recording, the importing, the editing and exporting, totally interested in doing something cool like that. The one challenge that I currently have right now, it's time. Currently, for those of you who didn't know, I've been posting a couple of extra videos of Smove rather than The Ordinary, because I am collaborating with them on a project for their channel. So we're doing like a really nice collaboration. They're a fantastic people, and they decided to collaborate with me. So I'm creating something for their channel that hopefully will give people some entertainment besides knowledge, because I'm using my channel as kind of like a tips how-to channel, and then I'm going to be creating content for their channel on the short term using some of their stuff. So if you didn't know, now you know. But yeah, I'm super interested in creating that. I'm still going to do an editing workflow. I'm still going to do a B-roll tips workflow. It's just that right now I've been recording a record with my band, working full-time, editing and filming these on the weekends. So time has been very limited for me to fully be open and creative. But in the summer, in a couple weeks, as soon as I'm done recording, I'm going to have a lot of time back so I can create some of that content for you guys. But yes, Bomb123, I'm going to continue to give tutorials, tips, all that fun stuff. So if you're into all that stuff, hit that. I don't really ever prompt anybody to like and subscribe. If you feel it in your heart that some of these tips are making a difference in your life, then absolutely, that's the way that you can say, hey man, thank you, you're doing a great job. But don't feel obligated to like and subscribe for whatever reason, other than if you find this valuable. So for those of you who do, thank you so much for supporting me all the time. I really appreciate you. I'm glad it helps. I'm glad it helps. Any questions or any concerns on Instagram, feel free to DM me. I do my best to follow up with all the comments. Lately, it's becoming a little bit more harder than before because I'm getting a lot. So bear with me. I'm always like, and that's another thing, like the app on the smartphone, when I'm looking at the comments, it only allows a specific amount of comments. I cannot go back and scroll past a certain point. So I have to actually go to the videos independently and see what comments I didn't reply to or I missed. So I apologize if I haven't get to a comment. Try it again, drop it, because if it gets right on top of the list, I will definitely be able to reply. How about Free Vision? Free Vision, what is the name? Free Vision Vilta. Vilta M. I haven't heard of that one. I'm going to be honest with you. Monoprium. I have not heard about that one. So I'm going to check it out. I'm writing it down here. I'm copying your comment and checking it out in a moment. Let me see. Freon, Vita M. I'm going to drop that in the notes in my computer real quick. That way I can give it a look, because that's what it's all about. Thank you for sharing that. Not perfect. I love that name, man. Can you use GoPro with the Osmo Mobile 2? And the answer to that is yes. You can use the GoPro with the Osmo 2 in 2 different ways. And I'm going to show them to you right now. Before I do that, though, I want to be able to power up this thing for once and for all. Let's see. I'm going to press the mode button here. And this might have not been charged, so I think I need to charge it. But this is how it fits on this gimbal. So typically you'll be able to rotate. Now the one thing that I find very interesting here is that this piece spins full 360. So this opens up the possibility to do some really interesting shots with your GoPro, right? So it does full 360 at the top axis, and then it does full 360 at the bottom axis. So some very interesting and dynamic shots that can be created, but that's pretty much it. That's how you mount the G6, and it keeps your smartphone, pardon me, it's too early. It keeps your GoPro stable. So it works with pretty much every GoPro, Hero 3, 4, 5, 6. The newers are the better, of course, because the gimbal is water resistant. This camera isn't. So if I get splashed right now, it's going to die. But there you have it, guys. We've successfully unboxed the G6. And now I'm going to put it to charge because I'm going to be testing it over the weekend. But it comes once again with the little tripod attachment, similar to most of smartphone gimbals as well. Pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff. All right, back to the show. Can you use GoPro with the Osmo Mobile? Not yes. You know what? Let's do that real quick. I'm going to go ahead and undo the It seems like you guys are more interested on the actual smartphone gimbals than the GoPro gimbal. Now, who records here with GoPro too? Drop it in the comments if you're a GoPro person, because I'm trying to gauge if it's worth for me to invest time talking about GoPro stuff in the near future. And if some of you appreciate it, then I'm definitely going to do it. But if not, a lot of you care too much about it, then I'm just going to stick to the smartphone cinematography, because that is my favorite thing to talk about. But yes, we got the DJI Osmo Mobile here. Not perfect. We got it right here. So the top part, right? So if you have your smartphone in the horizontal position, all you really have to do is undo the bag screw over here and bam, drop it sideways. That way it's on portrait. That way your phone technically will be vertical. You could potentially get away with putting the GoPro in a horizontal position this way. The only problem that I have with this is that since the clamp is a little bit different, it presses on the button. And as you can see, it turned on my Wi-Fi and then it can turn it off. But you can compress this one, make it as small as possible, the arm, that way it's not making too much pressure. And since it wasn't fully designed for this, it's a little bit heavier on the right side. So if I were to turn this on, it's like struggling. It's like struggling, and then I kind of catch. Can you hear that? Right? So that's one of the main reasons why you might need to either use the case or the frame. I actually have a counterbalance adapter for that same reason. So if you have a DJI Osmo Mobile and you try to put your GoPro bare like that without any housing or any case or anything that adds a little bit more weight, having the adapter is probably going to be a little bit more productive. So it works in a similar fashion. You just simply put your GoPro down here. Let me go ahead and undo that. But I've tested this, and I actually have a video about it on my channel. If you scroll down, it's how to use GoPro with the DJI Osmo Mobile 2. And I've recorded a couple videos, and one of the biggest takeaways is, since the GoPro is super wide angle, it actually shows the motors on some of your videos. So just keep an eye out on that. And you can see how we put the GoPro right here. It's got like a little area for it to rest. But yeah, the motors are going to show. All you really have to do is hold the gimbal in torch mode. And I'll show you how that looks like right now. But we got the GoPro right now being installed on this adapter. I believe I also have the link for this adapter. But yeah, it's a pretty straightforward, kind of like phone looking adapter in this part. And you have to default back to the smartphone position. That way when the Osmo is on, it behaves like if you're putting a smartphone. So you can do this in multiple ways. Option number one, you can actually have the GoPro, right? So you see like giving its back to you. So when I'm holding it, it's not quite looking at me. And the adapter fits perfectly in the little area here. It's designed for that. Then right here, we go back to balancing. So that's very important, guys, to make sure you're balancing your gimbal when it's off. Make sure that you're getting pretty close of it being steady. Like, that's pretty cool. See how it's not tilting left or right? So we got that. And then we also want to make sure that we're doing our best trying to balance this. So we're going to push it down a little bit, right? Pretty cool. So that's decent balance, guys. And now when we turn this on, we should be able to get enough of a balance so we can push GoPro forward, right? So this would be my preferred method if you're using DJI Osmo Mobile and GoPro. So this adapter, it's very affordable. It's on Amazon. I think the link's in the description. But if you're a GoPro guy or a smartphone guy and you have the DJI Osmo Mobile, here you can tackle both worlds. You can also flip the adapter the other way and do selfies if you're trying to do selfies. Honestly, I personally just typically do something like this and I flip it around. But this is the major problem. On your footage, you're going to start seeing this motor. So if you press on the mode button on your Osmo, you notice that this light will turn from green to yellow, right? That's yellow and that's green. Yellow is lock mode, green is follow mode. So if you're green, it'll look down, it'll look up, left and right. But if you're yellow, it'll lock it in place. That way you'll be able to film. And if you're walking straight, you always want to move this motor out of the way in lock mode. That way it doesn't show in your footage, but then this way you're transferring the vertical impact to the motors. That way everything is a little bit smoother. Same exact premise is going to happen on the Smove Mobile, on the Smove Q, on the Smove 4. But with the DJI Osmo Mobile, definitely having the adapter is a little bit beneficial. All right, I'm going to scroll back. Hope I can answer. I hope that answered your question. Not. Yeah, that would be awesome. I'm actually thinking. I'm reading Not Perfect Comments. Is I would love to see that. The whole mindset of creating. Very interested in doing something like that. It's definitely going to be a lot of work. It's going to be a series of 5 to 10 videos going from beginning to end. But I'm trying to keep it digestible, maybe like 3-5 minute videos, boom, and knock that out of the park so you can see them back to back without having to invest a whole lot of time. Let me turn this off real quick and start answering some of the questions. Since we're approaching the time that we need to start wrapping this up. So a gimbal to use with GoPro session and smartphone. Zhiyun and DJI Smooth Q's selfie mode with the big difference while shooting with GoPro. So yeah, the Smooth Q, I feel it's a really good option for GoPro since it does the full 360 spins. And when you triple click the mode button, it does a full 180 spin so you can see what's in front and you can flip it around to see what's in front of you. The Smove, as I was doing earlier, it's so easy just to rotate and then bring it back in that I really wouldn't, like if you already have, it's an ambulance, but if you already have a Smooth Q, boom, you're ready there. If you're debating, do I get a Smooth Q, do I get a Smove, some of those little features might make or break the deal. So if you, after this video, go to my channel. I actually did a video on a GoPro with the Smove Mobile. I did a video on a GoPro with the DJI Osmo Mobile. And then I did a video with GoPro on the Smooth Q, talking about the same exact topic. Hopefully that could help and give you a little bit more juice so you can make a better decision there. Pavel says more GoPro content. Okay. I see some interest in. Don't use GoPro only because it's not as convenient as my phone. Joy, I couldn't agree more. The fact that I am doing this on a phone, the fact that I can pay my bills on my phone, the fact that I can call, FaceTime, edit, shoot video. I am totally a phone person, 100%. I do see, however, how we could start kind of like stepping in that direction because some of these gimbals have the capabilities of housing GoPros, like the Smove Mobile, the DJI with specific adapters. So, you know, who knows? I might step here and there and do a couple little videos of, hey, you know what? You can also do this, right? Or if you're the type of person that already has a GoPro and it's just collecting dust in a closet, we're going to spray that out, get that dust out, and get some side shots. I'm going to be able to do some videos soon on how to do multi-cam edits, which is very, very fun, very useful in Final Cut. So we'll talk about that soon. Wanting to use it with the GoPro 6 Black, wanted to use it with the Osmo Mobile 2. Corey, yes, Corey, we just did it. All you need is this adapter to make your life easier. The link should be in the description, and if you don't see it, shoot me a DM on Instagram. But it should be in the description. Actually, I have the video up in here, running gear. GoPro gimbal adapter. Yeah, I do have it in the description. Is item number 1, 2, 3, 4. Item number 4 on my gear list on the description of the video. So if you feel like checking it out, boom, I just dropped it right there. So that's how you do it. With any GoPro, this fits GoPro 3s and above. So hopefully that helps out. And Bum says, it's great that we're building a mobile filmmaking community. Absolutely, man. I'm super stoked on that. I am thinking of creating a channel about mobile cinematography. Just waiting to buy a gimbal. It's the most important gadget. Yeah, pretty much right now, man. Like if you're trying to do a YouTube channel and you're trying to do films with your smartphone, it's completely doable. I've been dropping some clips on Instagram on some of the videos that I've dropped or will drop. So if you haven't followed me on Instagram, go check it out, because that's where I post like my day-to-day. And if you want to stay aware of all the little things that I'm doing, follow me there, because I drop the little snippets, and I'm very active there as well. So, but yeah, man, it's super exciting that smartphones right now are the way they are, and they're able to film and capture what we want, and we don't need to buy like super like high expensive bulky rigs. These phones are expensive, but not as expensive as like a Red camera or like a 5D Mark III or something like that. So most of us have a phone in our pockets, whether it's an iPhone or an Android device or whatever it is. And sometimes I feel that there's a big opportunity for us to have that awareness of, yeah, I can actually do this. Whether it's family shots, whether it is music concerts, or just events that you want to capture. These are your memories, guys, right? And I'm a firm believer in documentation, not only for yourself, so you can go back and think and see the things that you've done, but also for future generations. You know, I would have loved to see other than photos of my grandparents and you know, people that are no longer with us. So being able to record this and have such an amazing fidelity and capability of editing and creating what we want to create, I'm super happy about it. So great gimbal, iffy software. Marlon, what are we talking about? Are we talking about the Osmo, the Smove 4, or the Smove Mobile? What's going on, Nelson Marquez? Welcome to the stream. Thank you for hanging out. What's up, my dude? Congrats on 6,000 followers. Yeah, I'm so excited. I never thought that I was gonna be able to get 100, to be honest with you. It's been one of those things. Oh man, wow, like people like what I'm creating. So it's very humbling. I'm very appreciative every single day that you guys take some of your time to comment and hang out with me. So that's super cool. Omar, I mean, a little bit, you're kind of late, a little bit. I'm going to be wrapping it up within the next couple minutes. Just answering some questions, rapid fire. We talked about using GoPro with the Smove Mobile. We talked about this brand new gimbal that they sent me called the G6, made by Feiyutech, that allows you to put just GoPro. It's only for GoPro, and it's water resistant. So we talked about that one. Pretty interesting that people are deciding to send me stuff for me to talk about it. But it's a great opportunity for me to create content for you guys. So if you see on your videos and you see something that you like, let me know in the comment section, because that way I know that I'm heading into the right direction. Whether it's GoPro or smartphone, absolutely. Oh, okay, yeah, totally. That would be awesome to explore, Marlon. I'm very interested in taking it out for a spin this weekend. And then also, I don't know, depending on how it performs this weekend, I might take it with me to E3. That's another thing that I wanted to remind you guys. I am going to E3. I'm going to be at Electronic Entertainment Expo in Los Angeles. I'm going to be there the whole week. So if some of you are going, or if you're into gaming, I'm going to be posting day-to-day, like random sporadic clips captured with my gimbals. I'm thinking of doing tips videos, because I envision that I'm going to be in a line waiting to play a video game for a long time. So I want to be able to maximize. So I'm gonna probably do time-lapse videos, light trails videos in Los Angeles at night, and slow motion videos that we haven't talked about. And some of you have been waiting. So I'm going to be doing that with the Osmo, and I'm going to be doing that with the Smove Mobile. I might take a GoPro. I don't know. We'll see how that software works out. I just got in and I've been having issues with it. Sorry about that, Marlon. What type of issues? If you like it, though, that's good. Is optical image stabilization, Bomb is asking, is optical image stabilization a big issue? I wouldn't call it an issue. I would call it a challenge. There's ways to beat those challenges. Optical image stabilization is in the actual device, like on your phone. The camera automatically compensates and moves to make up for the bumpiness or the shakiness, but that combined with a smartphone gimbal might create some conflict and some wobble effect. The big thing about the jitters and all that stuff is the vertical approach. If you lock your exposure and your lens is not trying to adjust and you're getting a lot of jitters, it means that you're walking and you're moving up and down and the phone is trying to compensate for that. So, footing is going to be the most important thing. Understanding how to walk instead of walking up and down, just bending your knees and making sure you're transitioning smooth, or using resources like a skateboard or like a bicycle. I don't know if you saw, but I uploaded a short, quick 1-minute video of me on a skateboard with the Smove mobile, and results were pretty awesome. Like, I was like, wow, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and do skateboard from now on for all my sliding shots and everything, because it's really, really smooth. Let's see, is the ZY Play app on Android really as bad as its reviews suggest? I have a Galaxy S9 and I'm leaning towards a DJI Osmo Mobile based on the bad app reviews for the Smove 4. I'm going to be honest with you, I haven't tested on Android yet, but I do hear the same sentiment that the app is not where it should be. So I'd be aware of that. If you get to test it before you buy it, if you can go to a store, test it out, or some stores will have return policies, so you can test it and return if you're not happy with it. I do know that the DJI counterpart on Android is definitely better than the Zhiyun counterpart on Android. And it's crazy because there's a lot of people with Android. Actually, I soon discovered that the audience of this YouTube channel, like 60% is Android. So I'm not promising anything, but I might get a different device soon for the purpose of testing the counter argument of the app or something like that. So, but yeah, I do hear that. Motion time lapse didn't work correctly, so I have to contact tech support. Gotcha. Thanks for sharing that, Marlon. I appreciate that, because I'm gonna be testing it soon, and I wanna soften the blow and set the expectations. When you're using a gimbal, Nelson asks, when you're using a gimbal, do you still keep phone stabilization? Getting two stabilization seems better than one. I do. I use the camera app, and the camera app uses the stabilization, of course, of the gimbal. So you have that one. But then the camera app adds, you have the optical image stabilization, and that last camera app adds digital image stabilization on top. So it crops the image a little bit, and it compensates for any random movement. And then what you see is a really nice steady shot. So I have a combination of that most of the time, but once again, that vertical movement is just so important. When you're walking, we walk, right? But if you walk straight, you bend your knees and you kind of like walk without going up and down, the results are going to improve dramatically. Absolutely. Perfect, Omar. I'm going to do more skateboard shots, I promise. Thank you, sir, for all you do to help motivate, create mind. Oh, man. Thank you so much. Not perfect. I appreciate your kind words. Hopefully this helps. And we're gonna continue to do these lives. We're gonna be checking in and out, doing these lives in my place. We're gonna go out as well in the coming weeks. Remember that I'm gonna be going to E3, so I'm gonna be posting on this channel some game-related stuff with my phone and my gimbal. But if you're not a fan of gaming, more content's coming in the coming weeks, and then after that, I'm going to be at VidCon in Anaheim, California. So if you're in the area or if you're attending any of these, let me know. Shoot me a DM. We'll take some videos. We'll go out and do some time lapses. We'll do whatever needs to be done so we can learn, collaborate, and grow using our smartphones to create some awesome content, some memories. If you have other questions that I haven't been able to answer on the stream, feel free to like me and follow me on Instagram. I mean, if you like me, great. If you don't like me, that's cool, but that's the term. Go check out my Instagram. That way I post behind the scenes and kind of like the back end of the YouTube channel before anything happens on YouTube. Also, if you're into audio, I actually have a podcast on almost any platform. And it's the audio version of everything, everything that I post on YouTube. For those of you who can't really engage too much on video, at least you can hear and visualize what you're trying to do, whether you're driving or at work. So it's called Crop Factor by EMT Films. The description has all those links, so you should go and check it out if you're into that. Yeah, guys, we got one last question over here. It says, I'll have my stab tomorrow. I'll send you a message about how it feels with the Flow Motion 1 on my hands. Oh, that's right, the Flow Motion. That's awesome. Which gimbal do you recommend for Samsung Galaxy Note 8? Honestly, for Android, probably the Osmo is going to be my favorite gimbal. For what I've seen on the internet, the disparity and all that fun stuff. So that sounds great to be able to meet you, plus learn from yourself to do and don't. Yeah, if you're in the Southern California area and you're going to any of these events, whether it's E3 or VidCon, shoot me DM. We'll chat, we'll hang out, we'll film any questions that you might have. We might actually film it too, so it's in the channel. So thank you guys so much for taking your time in this Wednesday morning or night, depending on where you are, to throw me your questions. Don't forget to drop anything else down there once the video is uploaded, because I will post this live stream for you to be able to watch it and see everything that we talked about. But if you have any comments, questions, drop them down there. And as always, guys, thank you so much for taking the time to hang out. We'll catch you on the next one. And now we're going to end the stream.